Right, what is that, everyone? It's that time again. It is story time, and we are Scout Stories now. I'm the narrator, and we are flying. We are flying, aren't we? Eh? We are proper flying, right? All thanks to you. So, before this one even goes out, I want to just say big shout to everyone on the channel, yeah? All the subscribers, just all the listeners, just everyone, all the audience. You know what? It's just sick. He's the sickest fame in the game, and there's no one on YouTube, right, who could ask for a better fame than you. I'm just going to put it out there now, and I'm defo not coming down from last night, so I'm not all like emotional and that. Right, so we're gonna go with this one. It's called Scandalous right now. This is a 90-minute one, right? You know what? There's some things in life where you just, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, right? And when I say that, I mean it like any walks of life. And, people want to start coming at the narrator, signing leather and stuff like that in parties and that. This is what you get. This is what you get. I'm the narrator. I'm a narrator. I've got a channel with thousands of people on it, right? And I tell stories. So think about it, you could be the next story by fucking breakfast, right? This is scandalous. Don't bite the end of feed you. Right, get on it. My mate last night was just going on at me. I hadn't seen him for ages, going on at me. He's like trying to leather me, and all he's doing all mad things. And I just said to him, I said, lad, who do you think you're talking to? He's like, oh, what's Ghost Stories? I said, lad, I'm a narrator, lad. I said, I'll absolutely ruin you, lad. And he's going, lad, everyone's like proper parasailing to you nowadays, lad. No one says nothing to you, lad. You can't take a joke. I'm like, lad, I can take a joke. He's like, yeah, I'll take that then. And sends me a picture. Right, so I looked at this picture, and I don't know how to say this, right, but here's what he's done. He took a picture of me without me knowing, right, and he's cut my face off it, and he's put my face on this, like, let's just say, male model, right, and the male model has got, let's just say, 4 of the male models around him in the neck, putting the things at him, do you know what I mean? And I'm like, lad, I'm saying to him, where's that going? He's like, lad, I'm going to send it everywhere. I said, lad, you send that anywhere. I said, lad, I'll laugh. I said, but lad, I'll proper get you bad. He's going, what? I said, lad, I'll make stories up. I'll make sure I'll do everything. I said, lad, I will go all out on you. Rapid response. And he's like, oh, lad, whatever. He went, whatever. So I'm like, all right, sounds. So next thing, he just press send and send it to a group what I'm in. Now this group I'm in, it's like a personal group. Everyone's just like, ah ha. And I'm just looking and thinking, oh, lad, this kid, he can speak freely, and I speak freely because we've known each other for years, right? But here's what's happened, lad. You've just made a massive mistake, yeah? So here's a 2-part bonus story. This one now, at 6 o'clock in the morning now, this one will be up by 7 in the morning, and then the next one's going to be 7 o'clock tonight, and then tonight's 31 Days of Crime, that'll be up at some point after that, you know what I mean? Because I'm going on holiday, like I said, but I'm going to thank you, but I'm not taking a phone with me, I'm taking a laptop with me, so if it's got Wi-Fi and it's sound and secure, then I'll be able to do what I'm doing, do you know what I mean? So let's just get into this one now. Now, know what, lad, right? Lad, you are proper cheeky. I told you to wave a white flag, and you didn't. So this is what you get, right? Now, this is my mate. My mate's called Steve. That's a real name as well. So I'm out with the lads, right? We're in town, all that, vibing, just off me, barn flying. He goes to me, come to this bar, lads. Like I said before, he went, I want to meet one of my mates. I'm like, who's your mate? He's like, such and such. I'm like, oh, I said, you still go with him? He's like, yeah. I'm like, no way. He said, there's such and such still go with him. Now, such and such, what about? He's my mate, he's called Steve. And we used to go to school together, so I haven't seen him for years, I've done bits with him, blah, blah, blah. Used to be in my school alone, that's all I've known since I was a kid, you know what I mean? So my mate's going, yeah, lad, yeah. I said, is he out? He's like, yeah. I said, shut up. He's like, yes. I'm like, come on, let's go. So I phone him, lad, so we phone him as we're walking from one bar to the other. He's like, lad, is Steve there? He's like, yeah. I said, put him on the phone, so he gets on the phone. I'm like, what is happening? He's going, lad, it's like you. He's like, lad, no way, what's happening? I'm like, lad, what is happening? What's happening? He's just like, no way. He's like, lad, I'll be down. I'm like, come on, Chad. So we go to this bar, and about 7 minutes later, these kids come in, and it's just proper boss. I'm like, well, Steve's like me mate. He's like one of the longest people I've known who are like not me family. Do you know what I mean? Like just since we were kids and that. But we're not like actively mates. But it's just what is happening, lad. It's just like, we're on each other, we've known each other for years, and this, that. So we talk to each other a little bit different than how my mates would expect someone to talk to me, or how his mates would expect someone to talk to them. So I'm like, lad, you are a proper mushroom, and like, his mates are like looking, but he's just accepted it, and he's going to me, oh, shut up, lad, you're a tit, you. And I'm like, lad, he's going, nah, lad, you are a proper, just like, not like leathering me. But I'm just laughing, taking it, right? Because like we go back, right? So it's a little bit heavier than what if you've only just like met me or you've only been with me for, you'd expect. So, because he's been off the scene for a bit, like my mates are looking at me, and one of my mates says to me, lad, I've never heard no one talk to you like that. I'm like, nah, lad, I said, listen to me, I said, lad, he is my proper mate. I said, lad, he's one of them mates who can just say what he wants. You just know he means no harm. Do you know what I mean? He's a funny kid. So I'm just like, shut up, lad. So I'm letting him, and I said, shut up, lad. I said, what's happened to you? Yeah, what? I said, I'm looking like a fucking baghead version of George Best, right just off his banner in a string vest. And he's just like, lad, and his mates are looking, like, no one knows how to take it, because we're just sitting opposite each other, and we're just letting each other, but no one, like, knows how to take it, but they're not edgy or like that, but they're just, like, looking at each other, as if to say, wow, what's happening here? Who's he? What's happening here? So, anyway, because long story short, we go outside, like, lad, what's happening? He goes, yeah, lad. I said, what have you been up to? He said, it's still your bed. He's like, nah. He went, lad, I like that. I went, why? He went, lad, big in the game, aren't I? So I just started laughing. I said, lad, you want to get a limo graft? He's like, listen to me, lad, the proper smash day, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, this is like, lad, I'm made up for it, because I am genuinely made up for someone like that. So what I mean? Like, we come from nothing, you know, we've struggled. It's nice to see him flying. I'm happy. I'm happy. He's happy, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, how old's your bird? And he's like, yeah, I've got loads of birds. I'm like, you've got loads of birds? He's like, I'm like, lad, you haven't. Lad, you're about a 2 out of 10 at best, I swear, lad. I said, I swear, lad, I was like, look at your shoes, lad. I'm like, you are not getting birds, lad. He's going, lad, you're messing you. I'm like, lad, I swear. He's just not, lad. He's going, yeah, I'll get on this then. Show me these birds. And I'm like, shh. I said, lad, you're lying. He's like, I was like, they're off the internet. He's like, lad, they're not. I'm like, Dad, they are. He's like, they're not. And I'm looking at them and thinking, no, what, they are proper tired, you know. And I'm like, where have you been? He's like, lad, I've been going here, been abroad. And so, you know, it could actually be a thing, but I don't know. They look too like, like, every picture he's sending me, not sending, but showing me on his phone, it's like picture perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like, the lighting, it just looks perfect. So, you know, it might be, but is it? I don't know. So I forgot about it all, so we're talking. And he's like, lad, we're going to this party, we're getting married. And I was like, lad, yeah, let's go. He's going, lad, I'm staying yours. I'm like, lad, staying, man. He's going, lad, we'll get this bird round, we'll get that bird round, we'll get that. And I said to him, lad, you've never had it. I said, you've got no game, lad. I said, he's like, lad, you're like a 2 out of 10. He's going, lad, you're horrible, you know. He's like, what? Yo, like, cause you're funny and all that. I said, lad, listen to me. Lad, I will laugh the knickers off any bird you know. He's going, lad, I know, that's why you're horrible. I wouldn't even introduce you to me, birds. Birds. So I'm like, oh, no way, like, you've got a fucking string fellow here, mate. So he's talking to me, and like, he keeps going on about these birds, and he's like, yeah, 1 second, you need to phone me bird. So I'm like half like clocking him, just thinking he's chatting shit and that. And then he's just on video calls to these birds. And I'm like, no way. And they're like, they're proper on him. Like, I'm just like, no way. I'm like, lad, I have just absolutely ate me own that day. What is happening there? So he's going, yeah, I say hello. So I'm like, what's happening? And these are proper tardy. Like, where you're just like, lad, how the fuck have you, how? It just doesn't make sense to me. So he's on the phone to this bird, right? And I'm saying to him, lad, that's a black. I said, that's AI. He's like, what? He's like, lad, talk to her. So I'm talking to her, and I'm looking at his phone, and like, I'm trying to see whether like he's online or something, but he's not. It's just literally like FaceTime. And I'm thinking, no way. So I said, oh, what's happening? She's like, what? I said, touch your nose. So she touched her nose, and I'm like, ah. How long have you been with him? She's like, he's my dream and all. And I'm just like, what? I'm just thinking, this is messed up. This is sad. He looks like crunched up Weetabix, do you know what I mean? I was like, what's he on about? How's he just like, how's this even a thing? And I'm looking at him, right? And you know what? I'm impressed. I mean, I'm listening to me, I'm impressed because I've seen his birds and like, yes, sound lad, do you know what I mean? And he's going to me, lad, listen. So he put the phone down there and he's talking to me and you know what? I'm just like believing it. I'm just believing everything because it's just like, it's mad. And he's like, yeah, I'll phone this one. He's just on, and it's just the same again, just on like FaceTime. And I'm like, and these birds are loving him. And I'm just like, what is that? What's that? He's going to her, you're my number what? She's like, I'm your number 4. And I'm like, no way. She knows that he's got other birds. And she's like, I'm just like, lad, fucking hell, mate. I'm thinking, you know, he must just have a massive schlong, but you know, we've been in footy, we've seen all that, so you haven't. Lad, you haven't. Now, not being funny on, you might be growing on a show, but I can't see that like that, where these birds are just proper loving you like that. So my head's gone, and I'm just thinking, no way. So I'm like, I'm humbled by it. Now, when we go out, I'm the one who gets birds, do you know what I mean? And like, that's just what it's always been. But now I'm just thinking, no way, how's he getting these birds? I'm like, lad, have you even met him? He's like, lad, he's been in man, this, that, to go and see them and that. And I'm just like, no way. So he showed me like plane tickets on his phone, what he's like screenshotted from like, you know, a few weeks ago and all that. He's like, I've been over there to see it, you know, like just proper. And I'm just like, no what? Lad, yeah, shake me hand, lad, I am proud of you. And I said to him, there's like 7 birds there on your phone, and every one of them birds are like 9, 10 out of 10, like without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm saying, all right then, phone here. So he's like, oh, lad, I'm not asking you, I will. And I'm just like, no way. So all like the doubt I've had in my head, it's gone. I'm just off my barnet, baby, just like, my head's gone. I'm half fuming. I'm half fuming off it. Do you know what I mean? What's happening here? What's happening here? So I was just like, so I goes back in the bar now. And I go upstairs and said, do you want a stripe? He's like, yeah. He said, just have a stripe. He said, then bring me like a bag out and pass me like, go outside. So all his mates and all my mates are all into swine. They don't even like hardly know each other, but some of them know someone and such. So I was just talking. And I'm talking to one of his mates. It's like, this mate I'm talking to, it's like his proper sidekick, his proper good mate. And I said to him, what is happening with him? I said, he's doing well, isn't he? And he went, what do you mean? I said, all these birds and that. And he just burst out laughing. But his laugh just like said something that I didn't know what I was saying. What do you mean? He's like, oh, nothing, lad. He's like, why, what's he telling you? I said, what do you mean? I said, figure out what he's telling me. What is it? I said, lad, he's got about 8, 9 boss birds on his phone. He's speaking on that. And he's just laughing at us. He's going to me, lad, he is messing. I'm like, why? He's like, lad, he's a proper Muslim. I went, what do you mean? He went, yeah, ask him to send you some of them birds in the knack and all that. And I'm like, lad, I wouldn't be asked. He's like, lad, just ask him that and see what he says. So I'm like, all right, sir. So like, I don't know what's going on, but this kid, he's giving me different vibes to what I'm like, going with. So he comes out and he said to him, hey, he went, what? I said, have you got pictures of these birds? He's like, I've got loads of pictures. I said, what, in the knack? And he's like, yeah. And I'm just like, no way, tits out. And I'm just like, I can't see, like, I'm not on what his mate's on about. But I know he's on about something, but I just don't know what. Now, when I'm with me mate, the lad who was saying before, he's like proper partial because he's part of him. Yeah, so I don't mean he's going to like hit him, but whatever, do you know what I mean? It's just like I respect, he doesn't want to say nothing bad about him in front of me, does he? When I'm with me and that, so I'm just like, lad, you're mad, you. And I'm proper lapping up, I'm just like, lad, you're sick, you. So like just sitting there, just like, yo, and I'm looking, I'm thinking, ow, do you know what I mean? Lad, you look like the Roadrunner on Bobby. You know, so that kid, he's got like a bit of a buzzy, and he's like, you know, like if you looked at yourself in the mirror with him, you'd be like, yeah, we'll whip that off for a start. And you know what I mean? So just little things that could just make it better, but he just overlooks like big mole and like an old hair coming out of it. So how's that even like? I just can't understand how it's a thing in that. So anyway, we gets out, so we goes to get the taxi and all that sort of friends was. And there's about 3 taxis full of us, and I'm like, yeah, he's like, where are we going? He's like, this party. So I said, where's the party? He's like, such. And anyway, but I'm looking on getting off. I said, well, 40 minutes, I'm going to go to a hotel and get like one of these birds down. He's like, lad, you're up for it, and I'll bring another one down. So I'm like, am I up for it? Of course I'm up for it. I said, lad, well, let's go to mine first, get a load of limo, and we'll do what we're doing. So he's like, all right, sound. So he's saying, yeah, well, this bird, she's always got a mate in that there. And I'm like, go ahead, sounds. So he goes like, when he's phoning these birds, he's standing up and he's walking like, you know, like by the kitchen, and he'd be like, yeah, come here. So I'm going out, and there's like these 2 proper tidy birds. And I'm just thinking, what is happening here? Like, how come they're all just like readily available? It's proper weird. And they're all just proper horny straight away. What's going on? So he's talking this bird, and I'm like talking this other bird in the background. Now, this isn't a website and all like that. It's just FaceTime. It's just FaceTime. So I'm just like, what? So I ended up talking to the bird in the background and all that. Now the bird in the background, she's writing something down, right? And I don't know what she's doing, but she was tidy. And then she just pops up with a number. She's got like a number written down on a piece of paper, and just puts it to the phone camera. So, and she's looking at me and she say, you know, something like that. So I don't know, could not have took that number fast enough, I swear. I memorised it straight away, just in one go. Full thing out of memory. So I've got on my phone now, put it in that. So I'm talking to her now. So I'm talking to this other bird who's with his bird, you know what I mean? And she's like, what's happening, all that, blah, 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 blah. And he's like looking at me, and he's going to me, have you just got her number? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, what are you talking to her? And I'm like, what's up? He's going, nah, fuck that, lad. And I'm like, what do you mean, lad? What are you on about? He's going, nah, swear it, lad. And I'm like, what are you on about, lad? And I'm thinking, what's he on about there? I'm thinking, I don't even know what's going on. So then he starts arguing with this other bird and puts the phones on. Not like arguing about, you know, says something there. And I'm like, what? And he goes to me, lad, swear them, lad. I'm like, what? I said, lad, I won't swear them. I said, what are you on about, lad? I said, do you know her? He's like, yeah. I said, well, is she anything to you? He's like, no, but nah, you can't just be talking to her like that. I'm like, shut up, you divvy, what are you on about? So this bird who I'm talking to, she's laughing. I'm just not getting the joke, do you know what I mean? It's just over my head, I don't know what the fuck everyone's on about. I'm just confused off your behind, like, what are you on about? But he's proper, like, serious, like that. Nah, put the phones on, lad, swear there. And I'm like, lad, you just introduced me to them. He's like, nah, lad, nah. And he's fuming, he's like, nah, this is proper cheeky, you know. I'm like, what are you on about, lad? So I put the phone down on this bird, yeah, this new bird. And I'm like, lad, what's with you? And he's like, his whole demeanour's changed. He's like, he's sort of half like a snarl at me, but, you know what I mean? He's like, going on, and I'm like, lad, I don't see the problem. Lad, you know, what? I can't take your bird's mate out. He's like, she's not my bird. I'm like, you just told me to bird. He's like, well, no, lad, she's one of them. I'm like, so what? I said, I'm not going to start speaking about it. I'm not going to say it like that, lad. I said, she's fucking tired, lad. And he's like, yeah, I know, but... So I'm like, the next thing my phone's like, ping, 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 as this bird messaging me, and I'm messaging back, and she's like, do you want to go out? I'm like, yeah, let's go out, and all that. So I'm like, where are you from? She's like, just outside of Liverpool. I'm like, yeah, where? So I'm like, I said, oh, it's only half an hour away, sound. So I'm just texting him, and he's like, is that it? I'm like, nah, just probably like, because I don't know what his problem is, I just don't get it. But if I've got a bird, and one of my mates likes a mate, and she's, what, that's, you know, what, you sort the boys out, don't you? That's just what it is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? What, lad, why are you taking it to that? Why are you being so serious? And why are you like, you're killing me vibes, lad, I'm off me band, you're killing me vibes in the middle of a party, lad. And he's like, oh, I don't know, no, lad. He's like, I know, lad, just like whatever. But his mate, like, his mate I was telling me before, he's like half on it, and he's just got this proper, like, smile on his kite, and I'm looking at him and thinking, what's he on? And he's laughing, he's just like, and then, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what's going on, I'm off me bar, I'm in a party, I've got some traumatized bed, yeah, and it is what it is. So I thought, no, what, there's no limo left, he had no limo, so I said, yeah, I'm going to go to mine, we'll get some limo, lad. He's like, you're driving? I said, yeah. I said, do you want to come with me? He's like, nah, I'm staying. I said, all right, sound. So I was like, anyone come with me? Everyone's ignoring me. I'm like, go ahead, sound. So the kid who's his mate, he's like, yeah, I'll come with you. I'm like, go ahead, sound. So he walks down, gets the guy's like, lads, this your car? I'm like, obviously, lads, that's what you mean. He's like, lads, I said, lads, a lease car. So it is, it's a lease car. He's like, lads, yeah. So I'm like, he's trying to tell me something, but he's not. So I'm on like the car, I've got the car with my phone, like, tagged up to the car, do you know what I mean? So I'm phoning his bed, and she's all like proper sound and that. And the lad, he's going to me, is that it, mate? I'm like, what? Like, so I said, yeah, I'll phone you back in a minute. I said, I'm just driving. He's like, come on, so that. I'm like, what? And he goes to me, lad, who's that? I said, so I told him what had happened, and he's just going to me, no way. He's going, no, lad, he'll be wounded. I'm like, lad, he is wounded. He'd be like, nah, lad, he's proper wounded. I what you mean? He went, lad, he pays them. Yeah, what are you on about, lad? He's like, lad, he pays them. I said, what do you mean he pays them? He said, lad, it's like a website. I said, what? He's like, it's a website. I'm like, what's a website? I said, it's not, it's FaceTime. He's like, I know, but it's a website where it's just like FaceTime. You just get the numbers and all that. And I'm just thinking, I'm not really onto all that. I don't do things like that, but I'm just intrigued, like, what do you mean? And he's going, lad, he pays to talk to them birds. I'm like, how? He's like, lad, it costs like Brewster's a minute. I'm like, lad, shut up. I'm thinking he's wise. I'm like, shut up, lad. I said, how? He's like, lad, listen to me now. He pays for that. He said, lad, it's like an AI bird, but it's not AI. It's like a real bird, you know? And I'm like, well, he said, lad, yeah. I said, what is it, an app? He's like, no, it's not an app. It's just like a website. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's a website just made for your phone. And I'm like, lad, you seem to know all about it. He went, lad, I've been on it myself, mate. Lad, it's called Saucy Time. I'm like, what's it called? Like, Saucy Time. And I'm like, you're lying, lad. He's like, lad, I swear. He went to swear it. He went, yeah, I get this. He went, lad, we've sent screenshots of the same bird to like all our mates and that. He said, but you know, and I wouldn't know that because I'm not really on the circle. I'm not in there, you know what I mean? I don't really see them much and all that. So to me, I've took it at face value, thinking he's like Hugh Hefner or something, you know what I mean? Or Peter Stringfellow, you know, I'm just thinking that. But it doesn't make sense to me because, like I said, you know, now, me personally, I'm only about a 5 out of 10, but he's a 2, so I win. Do you know what I mean? My last one says, I'm at least a 5. So I'm like, let's show me now. So he goes on this thing. He's like, lad, it's Saucy Times, he types in all that, comes up on Google, and he goes on it, and I'm like, lad, what is that? He's like, lad, it's like a date site, but it's not, you just talk to birds and that. And I'm like, shut up, you div. So he's scrolling through the gallery, looking at all birds, and I'm like, no way, he's just showing me that bird. He's like, lad, here's how you speak to them. I'm driving just off my bar, I don't even know what, I'm just looking for plug, I'm off my bar, I'm thinking, I'll get pulled now, we're absolutely fucked. And he just presses this button, next thing this bird rings him, and it's the bird on FaceTime. And I'm like, shut up. And she's like, what's that? And I'm just like, no way. He's just had me proper black there. No way. And I said, well, what's happening? She's like, hello. She's like, talking all that. I said, no, such and such. She's like, ew. So I'm just like, oh my God, lad, listen to me now. From now on, his name is Saucy Time Steve. Watch how heavy this goes off that. Lad, you are a rat. I'm like, why am I a rat, lad? He's like, lad, you're a rat. I'm like, how am I a rat? I said, I told you what to do. He's like, lad, I said, lad, you sent a picture of me to the group, yeah, with like 200 people on it. He's like, lad, you've got a channel with 8,500 people on it. He's like, lad, everyone loves you. I'm like, lad, they don't, they just like the story. He's like, nah, lad, nah, lad, you're a rat. Like, I said, lad, ow. I said, you can't take the joke then. He's like, all right, lad. He said, lad, what can I do to stop it? I said, honestly, I said, nothing, mate. He's like, what? I said, lad, I told you to send me a white flag, and you didn't. And he went, lad, I've read the comments, and someone said that you made a song about him. I'm like, oh yeah. I said, yeah, he's my mate, him. He's like, lad. I said, lad, you got told this and you didn't listen. So now you're going to pay the price, yeah? And I'm going on holiday tomorrow, so by the time you get back, you'll calm down. So, listen to me now. I've just got me Just Eat all babies, no? I'm going to forever give it to this kid, you know. But I don't know where I can... listen, let's just call him Saucy Time instead of Saucy Time Steve. Because, oh, fuck him, let's go, innit? Let's go, innit? He's wanted, let's go. You want to start fucking around with the haters, you tell stories, lad. You're going to find out the hard way, lad. I told you this from day one. All my mates are like, lad, get him. Let's go. So, gets back to this gaff, yeah, got the limo, gets back to this gaff. Now, I know what I know, right? it's like walking in with an AK-47 armed, isn't it? That's what it's like. It's like walking, because now I know something I didn't know, right? So, walks in, I'm not going to say it, I'm just going to proper leather him, but like, subtly, like, I'm going to try and be subtle about it. Now you're going to hear all mad shit because I'm doing loads of different things at the same time. I can't just stay through a story. I've got to like crack on because I'm going away tomorrow yet. So you'll hear all background noise and that, but I'm not asked. Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, let's go. Walked into this gaff and I said, where's Steve? He's like in the kitchen. I said, yeah. I said, there's some kid. Walks in and he's doing the same to this kid, what he done to me. This kid's like, oh. I just looked at him and went to him. Oh, what's that, all your birds now? He's like, yeah, lad, yeah. I said, lad, I'm starving. Off me banner. He went, what? I said, lad, I'm starving. I said, yeah, go in the fridge and find these sausage rolls. These sausage rolls look like they've been there for proper years. You know, like where you'd have to peel them, just eat the middle bit, and that's if you were dying and you need the food. So I said, lad, do us a favour. Steve went, what? I said, go in that cupboard. He went, what for? I said, find some sauce. Eat time. The penny drops, he looks at me and just goes white. I'm like, lad, you are a proper... I'm saying to him, don't listen to him, lad. The lad who's in the kitchen, he's like, what? I said, don't listen to him, he's the time to get all these birds. He's like, yeah, I said, lad, he's a proper sex liar. He's a sex liar, lad. Lad, he's on Saucy Time. You are Saucy Time. Stay right, his mate just bears around. So he started, because he can't do nothing to me, or he can't, like, fight me or nothing like that. He starts like half taking out on his mate, you know, like, because his mate's like his mate, and his mate sounds, he's funny that, but I can see what he's doing, and I'm like, shut up. I'm like, lad, don't start on him like that. He's like, what? I said, shut up, lad. And he's like, lad, he said, your mate's fuming on me there. I said to him, so he said, your mate, so I goes in and says to me, come here. He went, what? I said, lad, what's going on? He went, lad, I don't like the way he's talking, so you know. I'm like, lad, he's my mate. He's like, I don't care, lad. He said, lad's making me angry. I'm getting anxious off him, lad. He's like, I just don't like the kid, lad. And I'm like, listen to me, chill out now, and just let it go, and just don't say nothing, just don't do nothing to him, lad. He's like, lad, he's standing there thinking he can just speak to you like that. I'm like, lad, he can't speak to me like that. He's like, lad, I don't get it. I'm like, lad, I know, but just don't worry, because you know me, trust me. I've got a proper belter coming up. And he's like, lad, all right, sounds. I said, what have you said to me? And I just said to him before, I pulled him aside. I said, I don't know if you talk to him like that again. I'm going to proper batter you, lad. And I'm like, lad, I told you not to say that. I said, wait, that's why he's in the kitchen. He's like, lad, he hasn't been in since. And I'm like, lad, he's my mate, you know, lad, I don't care. Nah, swear for all that, lad. So this kid says to me, anyone got any biffs? I'm like, biffs? I thought, you know what, I had like 80 biff in the car, you know, in the glovey, because someone went on holiday and he got me them. Like, you know, for joints and that, but 80 biff when you only smoke a joint, it's a fucking last for years, isn't it? 1 sec. So I said, lad, I said to him, mate, he's been arguing. I said, comes down with me, went, well, I couldn't car me. He's like, what for? I said, I need to get biff in that. He's like, go ahead. So goes down, you have like 60 biff. And he's going to me, lad. I said, listen to me. I said, here's what's happened. So I told him everything. He's going to me, lad, what? He's going, what? And I'm like, lad, that's what he's been up to. He's like, what is it? I said, I don't know, lad. I said, some kid has made just show me this thing. It's just a website, lad. It's like, just on your phone. I said, you know, it is what it is, lads, you know what I mean? I said, lad, look at some of the birds and then they look proper sound and that. So I can see where he's going with it. I can see where you're going with it. But, lads, don't start trying to blag me like I'm some muppet, lad. And you know what? I felt like a bit of a tick because I believed him. I believed him, and I knew I shouldn't have, because the fucking hairy mole on the side of his face and his Weetabix fucking side, so I knew I shouldn't have. But I did. It's the first time he's ever blagged me in his life. But I don't know where he was going with it, or what he was trying to do, or what point he was trying to prove, but
lad, it's proper backfired everyone, man. And my mate's going to me, lad, he's a proper mushroom. I'm like, lad, he's not a mushroom, he's proper sound, lad, he's my mate. Do you know what I mean? He's my proper mate, lad. He's going, lad, I've never heard of him. I said, I know. I said, yeah. I said, yeah, come in here. I said, get these biff, let's go in there, give these kids these biff. And so we've gone back upstairs and all that. I said, come in the kitchen with me. He's like, all right, so I've got a big bag of limo, obviously, haven't I? So I goes in the party and I'm like, yeah, get out them. So I had 80 biff, so 3 of them 60 biff. I was like, yeah, you just have them. The kid's like, nice one, mate. I'm like, come on, lad, sounds like, do you want any money for them? Lad, no, you know, mate, I'm sad for that. Keep it. Nah, lad, I'm all right, you know what? Where I go, right, listen, I don't want to sound like a divvy, you know, but wherever I go, whatever I've got, it just gets put out, yeah. I've got a big bag of limo, whatever you can put out, yeah, but that's what's coming next, yeah, because they had a bit of limo left, but it was only like shitty bashing that way, you wouldn't even be out of it. So like, do you want a stripe? But the fact he was saying to me, do you want a stripe, do you want a stripe? That to me is everything, because that means you know, I didn't even hardly know the lad who had the limo, and he's like, lad, do you want a stripe, do you want a stripe? So, lad, it's only fair, no, I don't want a stripe, but I've noted that you've offered me one. And it'll come back to you tenfold, yeah. So I've got a big bag of them, so he goes in, says, come in the kitchen. He's like, lad, what the fuck? He's going, lad, I don't know what. I was like, lad, shut. I said, stop being angry. You're in a party, we're all mates. Stop being angry and let me just tell you how I know this kid, yeah. What, lad?
You don't even know how to play the
Right, lad, you should be in bed this time. We're going somewhere. You've got to be up early, but you haven't, like, but, you know what I mean? You've got to be up early, lad, right? You've got 10 minutes left on that, it's bedtime, lad, right? It's proper bells, lad, right? So, here's what happens. He goes back in, so I'm saying to him, listen, lad. Next thing, right, Steve comes out, and he's like, what's happening? I said, what's happening, lad? So I didn't really get to say what I was going to say, but I was like, what's happening, lad? He's like, what's happening? I said, do you want to stay? He's like, yeah, come on. And he's going to me, lad, I love you, you know? I'm like, lad, I love you, lad. I said, and he goes to me, mate, lad, listen, I don't mean no disrespect like that, but, you know, we've gone back, we're from nursery, we're in the juniors, we're in the senior, and my mate's just like, I've looked at my mates and say, lad, you better fucking swallow whatever beef you've got now, because whatever beef you've got now, that's not real, lad. It's not real, lad. And you know, if you do anything to him, I'm your mate, I love you, but nah, not happening, lad. You can't disrespect someone like that who I've brought in, yeah. It's like if I took you to a party, lad, and someone said, I'll be happy with you, doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? He's like, all right, so she's like, I said, yeah, I said, fucking shake hands and shake it off the periods, yeah. Sound. So, so the time goes to me, lad, you know, you're the cleverest person I know, so let me just talk to him, lad. I'm like, on my own. He's like, no, we can stay, lad. He's like, because he knows anyway. I said, lad, listen, I said, there's my problem. My problem is, lad, why do you try and blag me? He's like, lad, you know what, because since we were kids, lad, and every bird you've always got this, so I just tried to, like, I don't know, lad, I just tried to big myself up, lad, just in a way where you've never seen me like that. And I'm like, lad, you don't need to do that with me, lad. I said, it's fucking me, lad. I said, what? I said, do you think because I haven't seen you for a while, things change? No, it changes, lad. You don't need to be like that with me on a night out like that, lad. I'm your fucking mate, lad. I said, you're one of my best mates ever, lad. I said, I don't see you much, but we'll sort that out. He's like, all right. He went, well, let me just explain myself. Now, my mate's there as well. Now, my mate knows everything. So he said to me, all right, lad. He said, just let me ask you a few questions. I said, go on. He went, how much you spent on birds last year? I'm like, me? I said, birds. I said, I've had loads of birds. He's like, how much you spent on, like, taking them out and all? I said, honestly, lad, I said, about 120 grand. He's like, there you go. And I'm like, what do you mean, there you go? He's like, lad. He's like, there you go. I'm like, what do you mean, there you go? And he goes to me, listen, lads, you spend briefs on birds, you take them out, you take them for scrans, you know, on the limo. He's like, lad, you're horrible on the limo. He says, well, no, you know, you drill them probably like 1,500 quid a week. I'm like, yeah. He said, but I don't pay for it. He's like, I know it doesn't matter, but that's what you're doing. He said, you know, you're throwing all dogs. He said, you're throwing everything everywhere. He said, you've probably got limo now, you're going to throw it in this party. I'm like, of course you have, lad. He's like, let me see. He's like, lad, that's like an half ogle. I said, yeah. He said, lad, how are you just doing that? I said, lad, here's how, because I don't pay for limo, lad. I said, I get it for none, because that's what I work with. You know what I mean? I said, that's what I work with, lad. He's like, I know that, but I've always just like, you know, you get all these birds. I'm like, lad, half the birds I get do not give a fuck about me. They just see the card, they see whatever. They don't care about me. Do you think I think they care about me? He's like, well, lad, you've just answered your own question. What do you mean? Do you think I think these birds care about me? And I'm like, well, as I talk to all these birds, lad, it's £2 a minute. And I'm like, yeah. So when you think about it, it sounds a bit mad, but when he's putting it to me the way he's putting it to me, it doesn't sound mad. He's off his banners, fucking chins, like fucking chewing his own mole and that. Like, lad, I said to him, lad, be honest though, when you're on cam, I said, when you're on your phone, you only ever show that side of your face. He's like, but obviously, lad, obviously, lad, yeah, lad, your mole looks like Australia in the middle of the ocean. Do you know what I mean? And he's going, ah, lad, you know what I was like, lad, I'm not. I said, what? I said, go on, spit it out, lad. And I have a stripe, he's like, bang, bang, and then he meets, yeah, you bang. Someone's trying to come in, I'm like, yeah, go in there a minute, we're having a little convo, you know, like, when like people trying to come in, he's like, oh, get out a minute while I'm talking to these, like. So he's going to me, lad, he said, lad, I've give up on bed because I want me ex-bed. Until we know his ex-bed, like, she was only about a fucking 4 out of 10, but she was like a proper rat, like, how you put up with that? Lads, I'd never know. I said, I'd never know you put up with that. I said, lad, she used to wake up 10 minutes before and put on makeup on, didn't she? He's like, yeah. I'm like, lad, all your clothes used to have like all like makeup on. Like, yeah. He went, I know, lad. He went, and you led me is what like half sent me down that direction. I'm like, don't start blaming me because you're on saucy time, lad. Start blaming me, lad. He's going, no, lad, but you know, lad, I can speak straight to him. You're your mate, lad. I've been your mate for years. He went, I'm just telling you how it is, lad. I said, listen, lad. I said, I don't look like you're some sort of sleazeball because, lad, look, it's different nowadays, yeah. In the old days when you didn't first come out and you're on, dad, you get leather for it, but now that's just what everyone does, lad. I said, there's no people on the streets, no one's playing footy in the street. What do you think they're all doing? Yeah. So whether you get a bird on Facebook, Instagram, or saucy it makes no difference to me, lad. And he's like, I don't know, no. He said, so, you know, think about what you spend on birds before you end up banging them. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, lad, I just cut all that shit out. And I'm like, you're not banging them. He's like, I've banged a few of them. I'm not going to doubt him because he probably has. Only it's, you know, if a bird likes it, he'll do whatever they're doing, and it is what it is. But he said to me, lad, listen, he said, lad, listen, he said, before you took them for a scan, he said, a scan 1.5. He's like, lad, then a bevy at 2, and then you get them on a limo. He's like, lad, you've probably gone to about 5 ton on that. I'm like, yeah. He's like, had you done $1,000 before anything? He's like, lad, I spent £2 a minute. And I'm just like, look at him, but he proper means it, though, like he proper means it. And that's what's funny about it. It's not funny because he's got a point, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, lad. If that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. But the only problem I've got with you doing that is don't lie to me like I'm some bellend, lad. That's all I'm saying to you, lad. I don't care what you do, it's not my business. Don't lie to me, to me face, trying to blag me. Because, lad, you know quite well I'll always get on you. He's like, I know, lad, I know. He went, so what then? Is that no? I'm like, no. I said, lad, I haven't even started yet. I said, you're fucking getting it. Fucking saucy time, Steve. So the next thing the door goes, like the buzzer, and I'm thinking, who's that? So there's these birds in there. I haven't really spoken to them, no, because I was being like doing what I'm doing, you know, being in and out the gaff and this, that. So I said, who's that? That's all, lad. So this bird's like, it's me fella. I said, hey, I thought, I haven't even heard the words out of it at all, me fella. I said, fucking gibber. So I said, there's a girl, yeah, she's like, yeah, lad. I'm like, you know, like when them birds, you like the scouts and that, but they just like, aye, lads. It's just like, she was tired, don't get me wrong, that. So anyway, this kid, the kid whose party it was his house, it was his apartment thing. So I'm like, who are these? He's like, I don't know. I said, well, what's I go and check them? I don't sit there with people like that. I don't just sit there with proper strangers, you know, because I'm like, you know me, you all know me, but something like one wrong word can send me into like a different like vibe, and I'm happy. I'm happy with flying and with staying with my other mates, and it's all sad, but. You know, these kids might be saying that, so anyway, this kid just pressed the buzzer and they're coming up and all that. Now, these 3 lads walking right now, these 3 lads, they look, you know, they don't look like they're fucking anything special and that, but they've got like a little bit of a, you know, like off the barnet, walking into a new part, they don't know in there, so all those in there, and that's like a little bit, what's happening, lads, I'm like, what's happening, lad, you alright? I said, what's your name, lad? He's like, why? I said, what do you mean, why? I said, what do you mean, why? So, I'm just like, straight away, I'm like, who says why? Fucking hell, I'm being Simon, what do you mean, why? Here's why, because I'm asking you your fucking name, that's why, lad. What do you mean, why? He's like, well, what's up, 5 lads, I just stood up on my mate, and just being like, what's happening, lads? And he's just like, boo. I said, lad, listen to me, he said, you need to just change your attitude, man, now, you know, don't start bouncing, you're trying to kill the vibe, just partying, you know, on, lads. And he's like, nah, lad, nah, proper pass, and all that. But Steve, like, now here's how I know Steve, and here's why Steve's my mate, because Steve is heavy. He's heavy, right? But listen, if you put him in the ring with someone, he probably won't last that long. But if you put him on the street with someone, he'll go all out. He's got no boundaries, right? Now, he's like not trying to impress me. I'm not saying he's trying to impress me, because, lad, you know, I never said about you, lad, but you was with Saucy Time, so don't start doing stuff like that. But I know he does this now, lad, I don't know. I'm going to deliver it well for you, lad, because lad, I love you, and I know, no matter what I'm saying about you, lad, it's your own fault. Everything's your own fault, and I've gone too far now to pull back on it. Yeah, everyone's on me, lad, you know they are. I've got to get the story out, lad. No, I'm gonna do you a good one here, because my people who are on my channel, they love it, lad. They love all that shit. So I'm going to tell them what you did, lad. Right, and then you come to stay in mine as well. You know what? Listen. Bang on, one sec. Shit. I've got to keep doing shit because I'm fucking forgetting things and all that. One sec. Make sure shit's all ready now, because I'm going away tomorrow. See, I don't even know why I told that then, but I wouldn't even lock that fucking back door, right? So anyway, so Steve's down there right now. Steve's got like, not like I've got a point to prove, but he's like, you know, he hasn't got a point to prove because, you know, but he feels like he's fucked up a little bit there. So I could see where he went, and to be fair, it was a little bit over the top, but it wasn't over the top, right? So anyway, he's just snarled this kid, and I can see him snarl this kid, I can see this kid snarling at him. So I'm standing there, and I'm just like, like, I know what, I can't even be arsed, I'd rather just get off, do you know what I mean? I couldn't be arsed with it, I just could not be arsed with it. So he's like, next thing he was there, what, lad? And this bird just jumps at me like, who are you talking to, saucy time? And I was like, oh, lad. She's being like, what? So now, straight away, it's just done. So these kids who've walked in, they don't know about it. But she's saying that. I've said to her, listen, I said, you need to shut your mouth, you know. This lad's like, lad, who are you talking to? Who am I talking to? I'm talking to you. Why, lad? Why? Talking to you and your little fucking mingy bird, lad. Why? And then my mate who was arguing with Steve, he's just gone round and flanked him, right? And how the fuck he didn't get on it, I'll never know. So I'm not arguing with this kid, because I stand up, I was arguing, I was still sitting down, and I'm just laughing at him, just only Muppets, you can tell straight away by how people like act and how they carry on in like a strange environment, that they're just nervous, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to be sound him, and I'm like, oh, listen, lad, jibber. He's like, jibber, he's like, how do you think you're so? Next thing, my mate's just gone bang. So my mate just cracked this kid, right? And like, to be fair, it was a bit out of order. But as I'm about to jump up and be like, jibber, Steve's just round, just cracked this other kid for none. For fucking nothing at all. Just because he's with him. I'm like, oh, lad. So I'm just like, nah, jibber. Like, lad, swerve it. Jumped up, I'm saying, nah, listen, I'm getting off. The party's over and all that. This bird screaming, I'm like, sit down now before I put you clean out, you cheeky little rat. She's like, listen. I said, listen to me, shut your mouth now. Just shut your mouth now and sit down before I get a pair of bears down. It's just absolutely ragged everywhere, you little meth. Shut up now. Look at your fucking shoes, you horrible little rat. Shut up. So, as this is going on, me mate Steve, right, so he's pulled the blade out, right? Now, my mate who was fronting him earlier on, he just looks as if to say, wow. So I've looked at me mate, and to say, and that's what I'm trying to say to you, lad. You don't know who you're messing with, lad. He might be a bit of a bellend, he might be chatting shit off his bar on that, but you know, if you put it on him like that, lad, he'll fucking do you, lad. Yeah, he'll be first come, first served. There's no way he won't. So I'm like, lad, put it away now. He's like, what's up? Just grab him by the hand and took the blade off him. I'm like, lad, no need. Jibber. The lad who's part of his head has just proper fell off. The birds fell off soon she's seen and all that. There's kids on the floor. His other mate's like in the corner half crying. And his other lad, he was just stoned. I think he was just a pothead. You know, like he hasn't got on what's going on. He's like delayed reaction. So by the time this kid who's stoned, like, got on what's going on, he's just looking around and his mate's a kid. His other mate's like just all bleeding. My mate's standing there, I've just took a blade off him, and he's just like, wow. I'm like, what's happening, lad? He's like, wow, what? He's like, what's happening? I said, yeah, come out here, lad. I said, let this go. Took this kid in the kitchen. I'm like, what's happening, mate? He's like, lads, what's just happened there? Just like, lad, it's just one of them things. And he's going to me, wow, lad, he told me this was his bird's party. I'm like, nah, I said, lad, just, it's sad, but you know what? I instantaneously like the kid because he just reminds me of like a character of like a film or a cartoon. So, you know, he's like proper brand new, just like what's just happened there? Like, lad, yeah. So I said to Steve, I said, lad, he's staying in mine. He went, yeah. I said, let's go. I said to me mate, he said, yeah, let's get some man of the party killed. So like, well, I'm like, let's go. So I said to the lad whose party was, yeah, lad. So I've just had a big fast time, give all the mates a big fast time, and just tied the bag up and said, yeah, I'll have that, lad, and just got off, do you know what I mean? So when we get back to my mate now, he's not, now, listen, when I say this to you now, right, my mate isn't a mushroom. Believe you me, if he pulled a blade out on him, he'd just go off. yeah, but he sort of half got respect for him now, not because he had a blade, but just because of how gained he was, you know what I mean? Just how gained he was, he's got respect for him because he knows, and he's like, and I said to him, lad, you know what, I'm going to tell you now I know him, yeah, so I'm like, he's like, as I said, I'm being way with this story, you know, lad, he's like, this is going to be on the Scout Stories, I'm like, of course it's going to be on the Scout Stories, lad, I said, and it's gone from a 2-part to a 3-part, and me now, how I know Steve fucking Saucy Time, is going to be the 3rd part, yeah, so, brace yourselves, everyone.
I'm just sitting there, you know, it's been a long day, and, you know, I'm just chilling, little stripe, little brandy, just like, Next day, Steve phones me, and I'm like, wait, so it's time, what's happening, lad? He's like, lad, what's happening? I said, what's it, with pleasure? Because, like, he is me mate, that, but, like I said, I don't really see him that much, you know, we went to the party, and, you know, he did get leather, but, you know, he's like, hold me a bit now, he's on me a bit now, you know, like, trying to, you know, get a bit closer, which is sad, he's me mate, and, you know, that's what you want to do, that's what you do, but, he's just like, he's talking to me a little bit different. He said to me, listen, lad, I said, what? He said, have you got any work? I said, wait, I said, you? He said, yes, I said, lad, you can't do work, lad. He's like, lad, I can. He said, lad, I'm game. I said, what do you mean? He went, I'm just game, I'm sick of it, lad. He said, you know, he said, lad, you proper lettered me there. I said, lad, he went, I know, lad. He said, but lad, you know, you're right though, lad. He said, you're right though, lad. He's like, you know, lad, look at you just bouncing around, lad, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I know, lad. I said, but that's different. And he's like, but why though, lad? I said, lad, here's why. Because you're absolutely no game. That's why you've got no game, lad. You're just pushy with, lad. Your bird tells you something, lad. You're like, like birds don't like that, lad. You want to just be yourself and be normal, lad. You know what I mean? No birds don't like someone who's just like, you know what I mean? Bringing them flowers and all gibbet, lad. Do you want to go out and party? That's, you know, that's how old you are, how old we are, lad. That's what this time is, do you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah. So I said, what do you want to do anyway, lad? I'll carry anything anywhere. So I'm like, I had something coming in, so it was already coming in, so I thought he can go and grab it for me if he wants to. I said, alright, do you want to grab a little parcel for me then on Saturday? He's like, yeah, sounds. He said, what card do we use? I said, lad, use your car. I said, what do you want me to do? I said, you know, it's the first thing you do for me, lad, you know, I can't just start like buying the cars. I said, you know, if it goes well, I'll buy you a car, lad, and you can just do what you do. He said, alright, sounds. I said, yeah, get your bird's car. He's like, I said, you're insured? And he went, yeah, he went to insure for any driver. I said, just get your bird's car then. That's a bit of a blend, that's what I mean. So he's like, all right, sounds. So he's like, all right, you know, like, not nervous, but, you know, we're just talking. And then he's just like, oh, lad, he said, all right, anyway, nice one, lad. Nice one. I said, go on, see you later. So then I just gets on my night and all that, and I go to bed early. It was a quiet night, no one was bothering me, no, get our phone was off, it was just sad and all that. So I wakes up in the morning and thought, I'm starving, so I get on Just Eat, like, yes, I'm brekkie, he starts sitting there waiting for it. And then he phones me again, and I'm like, lad, what? I said, what's happening? He's like, hey lad, have I got these details right? I'm like, lad, don't talk on the phone, just give it, it comes to mine later. He's like, alright, I'm thinking he's just proper gone home, just thinking, yeah, right, I am proper Al Pacino now. So just as that thing in my head, just like getting out of my head, phone call comes, and I'm like, what's that? It's a foreign number, so from Marbella, we meet in Marbella. And he's like, lad, I said, what? He said, is your thing coming on Saturday? I said, yeah. And he goes to me, lad, our parcel's gone into yours. I went, what? He went, lad, there's 3 boxes there. And I'm like, lad, I said, well, what do you want to sit on for? He's like, lad, can you get them over to me? I'm like, are you messing, lad? He's like, please, lad, I'll sort it, whatever it is, lad, whatever, lad, I'll give you a taxi fare, lad, I'll give you whatever it costs anyone to do, lad. He's like, lad, will you though? I said, I can probably get someone to do it, so I'm thinking, Saucy Town State. But he's going, lad, but I need you to come with them. And I'm like, why? He went, lad, because it needs to make sure it gets here, lad, and I can't, like, risk it, you know, people thinking, oh, they got sucked by plod and they never got sucked by, lad, if you're there, everyone will just be like, yeah, 1,000,000%, whatever he said is what happened, like, because they know, yeah. So I'm like, alright, he went, lad, find out who's going. I said, alright, he said, go on, sounds. So I thought, that's just like a little frivolity, that's only no expenses paid and all that, so, sounds, full steam back. I said, lad, what's happening? He's like, what's happening? I said, listen, lad, I said, are you game for this? And he's like, what is it? I said, we're going to Marbella. He's going, what? I said, but here's what we're going to do. I want to get a different seat for you, but I don't know, yeah, you want to go on first, and I want to go in, you know what I mean? He's like, well, I'm going to get nicked. I said, you'll get fucking slammed. I said, that's all I'm getting nicked, to get proper slams. And that's it. And he's going, how much do we get? I said, lad, listen to me. I'll look after you heavy, yeah, 5 figures heavy. And he's like, sounds. So I said, alright. He's like, how much do you think? I said, lad, shut up, it's all paid for. I said, give me your name, your full name, took all that, blah, 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 blah. So says, go on, you're definitely for it. He's like, yeah, sounds. Now, I've still got to wait till Saturday anyway, because my parcel's coming, and if his parcel, I've got to make sure they are on it, but I have the logistics then. I've been telling them, stop working with them like they're absolute sandwiches, but no one listens to me, they just don't listen, they know best, everyone knows best. Lad, you know, we're in Marbella or Liverpool. I'm like, lad, Liverpool is the heart of it, lad. Yeah, Liverpool's where it all started, lad. Yeah, sounds alright, Marbella, yeah, it's full of veg and all that, but Lad, there's Joe in Liverpool as well, you know, so, you know, think about it, lad, it's like, it's a different level, and you know what I mean, it's like Europe and all that, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, so, you know, it is what it is. So he's like, well, how come you're not in Marbella? I said, lad, I'm in Marbella, you know what you mean? I said, I go, this is all my mates are over there. He's like, yeah, well, how come you don't get after? I said, you can't do that. I said, no, lad, I said, listen, I said, let's just be straight about it right now before you start taking it anywhere, before you start just getting yourself fucking put like that, right? You know, if you bounce over there thinking you're on one, yeah, just not asked, like, oh, I'm not asked about it, I'll do what I want, yeah. I'm telling you now, right, you will not last a day. That's it, you won't last a day. You just won't. Yeah, there's some proper heavy kids over there, right? And, you know, what you're not realising is you don't even have to do nothing to them personally. You just have to make them think you've offended them in some way by saying something while you're there or doing something while you're there, or do you know what I mean? And that's it, then it's just on sight. You don't even know what's happening to you, yeah? You just walk past them like, no way, there's that little mingy bang. Yeah, you don't even know them. So that's, you've got to, you know, just because it's a nice place and all that, lad, it's the underworld, there's the underworld, do you know what I mean? So you can say what you want, thinking you're on one on the surface, but once you start like, it's like snakes and ladders, yeah. You stand on a snake, mate, and you're just going rah, boom, 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 down into the underworld, yeah. And I'll tell you now, you're lucky if you get out alive. Yeah, you'll just proper get wasted. You'll just get set off. You'll just get wasted, lad. There's just no two ways about it, lad. And you know what's funny? Lad, they'll laugh while they're doing it. They're not asked, yeah. You want to start bouncing around there, thinking you're on one. These have been there for years. They've been there for years, yeah. You know, if you're lucky, you'll get a warning. If you don't listen to the warning, well, lad, it's just like when John Wick just got a hip out on and just phones just ping, 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 lad, you just, you know, let it gone. And if you're not gone, you're lucky, you'll just get wasted. So, you know, that's why you don't mess around like that, I don't mess around places like that, lad, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I've got mates over there and they're all sound and that, so that's why I'm not over there, like, because I'm over here, do you know what I mean? And now when you put the two of them together and you've got mates over there and you've got mates over here, it's a bigger network, isn't it? So what's the point of me being in Marbella and then what? I've lost Liverpool. What? Put my mates on it, watch them just absolutely mess it all up, lad, in less than a week. And just think, oh, well, he's just partying, he's not asked, you know what I mean? He's in Marbella, he's not asked. Yeah, you start leaving respect, lad. If you live in Marbella, then you live in there. If you go on Aussie, you go on Aussie. But, you know what I mean? You stay where you are, lad, you stay where you're doing, stuff there. And he's just like, yeah, sad. I said, right, so anyway, them tickets are booked, and let's just see what happens there. We're going to go on Monday, right? He's like, all right, Sam, says, what's the next parcel coming in? So he said, am I still going to get that parcel? I said, yeah. He said, all right, Sam, said, we'll go on then. I said, listen, I'll see you on Saturday then, right? Let's get to man for like 10 o'clock in the morning. He's like, all right, Sam. I said, lad, listen, if you're not coming, tell me like the night before. Don't just like not turn up, because you'll have me up the wall, lad. I said, now we'll just sort it. I said, you know, you don't have to think about it. Think about what you're doing, right? This is going to be the first thing you do. But the second thing you're going to do, like you're jumping straight into like what loads of grafters don't ever do, or never have done, or wouldn't do. So you sort of have like, you've got 2 feet in the ocean straight away. But, if you pull it off, right, what I give you for doing this one on Saturday, and what I give you when we get there for doing that one, yeah, lad, it's going to be life-changing for you. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be like, because you're going to get, lad, I'm going to look after you, all right? But I'm not trying to entice you. You know, you've come to me, and I can, you know, and I do need a hand. It just so happens, and you're, you know, one of my best mates, lad, ever. So, you know, it's a risk, though. You've got to understand it's a risk. He's going, lad, I know. I said, well, just sleep on it, right, and do this one first on Saturday, see where we get on, if you like it, you know, get the feel for it. And that. He's like, all right, sound. So anyway, that's all that's gone, conversation's gone. Phone me to Marbella, yeah, sad, lad, if it's there, then sad, whatever. So, on the Saturday morning, comes, gets up, goes to the gym and all that, must be about 8, half 8, goes to the cafe, gets a scramble, he's back to mine. So he turns up to mine about 10, and he's all like hyped and that. I said, lad, yeah, you look sound, it's so sweet. He's going, lad, I'm sound. He's like, I'm sound, lad, don't worry about it. I'm like, go on, sound. So we send him to the address, he gets the stuff, comes back, and it is over. So there is the 3 boxes over. So, you know, that's it, no one's chatting pony, that's what it is. So now we're off, so we're going on Monday anyway. So I'm like, yeah, sound. So he gives him a bit of dog, gives him a few grand, like just, you know what I mean, just, you know, a little bonus there, lad. So he's like, lad, it's like 4 grand. I'm like, lad, just, yeah, because I was making it every on it anyway, you know what I mean? He's my mate, so I'll look after him. She's got 4 grand, yeah. Lad, listen to me, if you're going here on Monday, yeah, I suggest you go and have a very, very good time until then. Do you know what I mean? Just go and blow your dough, do what you're doing, and just party like it's fucking 1999, lad. And he's like, sad. So he's gone, all that. So then he comes back Sunday. He's like, lad, I'm staying in yours. So he's been out. He's like, yeah, he's off me bad. And all that. That's old stripe, brandy. He's got his stuff with him and all that. Yeah, it's sad. So Monday comes, right, so I just put it in, right, and he's going to me, lad, where's all these, like, you know, these contraptions? I'm like, lad, I said, we haven't got time for that shit, lad, we should put on us, lad, we're not sitting there, you know, it's not, you know, it's not watching customers and exercise on the telly, lad, if you get through, you get through, if you don't, you don't, do you know what I mean? He's like, sound, so I said, did you get a taxi? Yeah, and I'm taking my car, so he's like, alright, so give him the door for the taxi now. I said, go and walk down there, he's like, where? I said, go and phone the taxi, yeah, go and like, use that payphone over there. He's like, alright, so that doesn't link him to this house, or, do you know what I mean? I know, might sound that, but I'm not getting sticks with it, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't have done that, to be fair, I wouldn't have. But it is what it is. So he gets off, gets to the taxi, so he's going to the airport, so then when he's gone to the airport, I've waited for it because I knew how long it took to get there. So now just set off then, just in my car, you know, sound parks up in the car park, goes in, and just didn't even look at him, just absolutely didn't even look at him once, right, just sitting nowhere near him, blah, blah, blah. Gates boarding, I was late on purpose, so then I know he'd definitely be on it, gets in, blah, 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 I'm on the plane, nowhere near him, and I can see him now. I don't need to see him, so let's not visualise like it's some sort of crazy cartel where if he makes one false move, I'll kill him. I'm just there because they asked me to, like, trust him, he's not going to do nothing anyway, what's he going to do? He wouldn't even know what to do with 3 boxes, he'd probably start selling back to me. So, gets to the airport, boom, flight and all that, sound, nothing goes wrong, gets through, everything's sound, doesn't even get looked at, it was just mad how much he didn't get looked at. I never even got looked at either, though, so I could have been as well. See, I don't know, you know, must be one of them times where they're swapping shifts and he just can't be asked or something, you know what I mean? So gets through, so he gets to the hotel, I'm in a different hotel, so I phoned him, right, because we got chips from Marbella, we already had them there, so, like, waiting for us, so I said to him, what's happening? He said, what? I said, lad, that was easy. He went, no, he went, fucking hell, lad. So he's gave the ladder, he's already gave the ladder, I had nothing to do with it, so I mean, I just went boom, 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 you know, I'm not getting seated, because if he was getting under odds, was he grab me through and what, I'm not getting nicked for that as well, that's what he's getting paid for, and he is going to get paid, so I thought, so I'm going to give him 15 grand for that, so I'm like, I'm not paying for it, and if I do have to throw a little 5 grand into it, then I will, do you know what I mean, because he's done well, you know, he proper kept it, and he's useful because he's gained, so to him now, that's just, it's nothing to him, yeah, that's nothing to him, you know, he was on it, he just looked proper sound, you know, just doing what he was doing, you know what I mean, laptop and all that, just proper, looked like a businessman, just cracking on, and he was dressed for it as well, looked proper sound. I know you can't be dressed for it, but, you know what I mean, if you could be dressed for it, he was dressed for it, to get what I'm saying. So that night, it's all just quiet on the front, I'm in my hotel, he's in his hotel, just talking on the phones and all that, and my mate whose parcels he was, he phones me up, he's like, what time, lad? I said, what time? I said, time to pay. He said, time to pay, lad. He said, I'll fly down to the hotel. He said, how much? I said, 20 quid. He went, what? I said, what, lad? He went, 20 quid to score. I went, lad, to score, yeah. He said, how? I said, there's why, lad, because, lad, you know, I know what you make of it, lad, and I know all this, and I know all that. He's going, lad, well, I said, just come, bring 20 grand and come here. He's like, lad, I'm not giving you 20 grand. I'm like, oh, I'm going to just bring it then. And then when I tell you, then we'll see. He's like, lad. So he's like, all right, so I'll give you like an hour and a half. Yeah, then, lad. So I was sitting there, right, and by this time, half cut, and that's what I was talking to me. I said to me, I'm going to start passing 15 grand. He like, I thought, if I get 20 quid there, I'm having 5 grand just for my time anyway, do you know what I mean? Because I would have lost more than that by beer, do you know what I mean? If I was by mine, mate, I would have been spinning, wouldn't I? So, you know, I'm out of pocket a little bit, but only in a funny way. If he says, no, I'm not asked. Even if he says he's only going to give him 10 grand, I'll still give me mate to the 5. That's how I'm not asked, yeah, but, you know, you got to just, like, you got to just talk. You got to play chess while people playing draft sometimes, haven't you? And he's my mate anyway, he's my good mate, so I'm not asked, it is what it is. So he turns up and that. I said, you got 20 grand there? He's like, yeah. He said, lad, you're not getting 20 grand. I said, yeah. I said, we already know I am. I said, otherwise you wouldn't have brought it because, you know, it's not worth the risk driving back on it. He's going, no, lad, no. He's like, lad, you don't change it. I said, yeah. I said, well, tell me the XCs then. I said, there's the XCs. I'm giving him 15 grand, yeah. He's like, lad, 15 grand. I'm like, lad, listen to me. Here's how it worked out. You've got 3 boxes. You're going to put it 1-to-1, right? So that means you've got 6 boxes. I know what bits you spinning in around here. So by the time you could have got logistics again to go and get the other 3 boxes, unless you would have let them off someone you know, which you wouldn't have. I know you wouldn't have because you look like a Muslim if you do. Then them other 3 boxes what you've got now, you've already sold all that. The 6 boxes, let's just say 6 boxes. So you've sold 6 boxes in the time it would have took you to try and get more here anyway for you, because the logistics were wrong, weren't they? And he's like, yeah. I said, so lad, think about what you're up by me and him coming out, and he went to me, lad, you know what, you're a scumbag, lad. I said, lad, you're wearing 30, lad. He's like, shut up, lad. I said, oh, yeah, sound 20 grand, see you later, yeah. So he's getting off, he's got stuff to do. He's like, you getting with us tonight at the party? He said, nah, it's not my cup of tea, lads, you know what I mean? I just do what I'm doing, lads, and all that. And he's like, yeah, I know. He's like, lads, everyone's on you anyway. I said, lads, I know. I said, everyone's me mate, lads. I said, but doesn't mean I just like start putting myself out there in my way, and lads, I'm just busy, lads, and stuff to do, do you know what I mean? I've been all seeing him, and I said, we might pop in later. He's like, yeah, where's the address? So I thought, I don't know what, I probably will pop in later. You know, we're behind in Marbella. So I goes and gets him. Right, he says, what's happening? He's like, what's happening? He said, what are you in a taxi for? I said, lads, what's really walk? He's like, what are you doing? He said, well, we need to go here. I said, I've got told for you now. I said, so we're going to the shop now, and I'm going to come back, and you're going to stick this bag in your hotel. He said, he's got lockers now. He went, lad, it's proper sound. I said, all right, make sure. And he went, lad, it's proper sound. He's going to even get to you, that's all. I'm like, all right, sound. So we go to the shop, gets whatever, you know, whatever. And then we goes back to his hotel. He drops the bag off in his, so he's got 15 grand now. He's probably took a few grand out of it, you know, because he was flashing the cash. And he's like, what are you doing now? I said, let's go and have a little look around and that. So we go to the city centre. So we're having a little march around and that, so we're just spotting a few people. I'm like, no way, you know, a few lads like, lad, what the fuck, what are you just walking around here for? I'm like, just nothing, I just allowed you to really just not tell no mind me and all that. So then I started getting a little bit half cut, so he has a little stripe and I'm thinking, so we're in party. Well, I said, do you want to go to the party? He's like, where? He said, just all the lads and that. He's like, yeah, I said, Belter Canada. I said, do you want to come? He's like, yeah, so I phoned me weight up. And I'm like, yeah, lad, I said, I'm going to fly down. He's like, go ahead, lad. And I'm like, who's there? He's like, and I'm like, do you know what? I've never seen on the parade anyway. So I get to the taxi and go to this party. Now, when we go to this party, there's one of the lads there, right? And the lad's one of my good mates who I just haven't seen him. I haven't had his number for years, but he's proper sound. And he's with this bird. So I said to him, what's happening? He's like, what's happening? So I'm talking to the bird now. I said, how's you be there, lad? I said, you know, you're like a 2 out of 10. And he was going to me, lad, you will not believe what I was like. What he went, I was on this app, this saucy time app, yeah. I went, yeah. I said, I know exactly what it is, lad. I was telling him about Stephen with. I'm like, lad, he's called saucy time, Steve. He's going, shut up, lad. And then they just both got something common, mate. They're like, oh my God. I'm like, that's all, what are you talking here? So the bird who he's with, who he mates with, right? She's a prosecutor. She works for the court, right? And here's how they met. He met her on that saucy time, was told her and all that. And he gave her a black name or a nickname, I don't know, I'm not too sure, right? But what's happened is, he was then in court on something like quite heavy, right? And when he's gone to court, right, she was the prosecutor. Get on that. Now, obviously, everyone's buried and things will be imagined a little bit, but, you know, no one's saying he's lying because, you know, his mates aren't just listening and say he's lying, and that's what it is. She's like, so, you know, it looks legit. And I'm like, that's hilarious. I said to her, so what do you do all that? She said, he's Simon. I said, yeah, he's got to be because that's how he met you. And he's like, I know. I was like, I said, well, I said to the prosecutor, she said, well, I said, you know, made your dog. She's like, yeah, she went, but I don't do it because I have to, I do it because I want to. And I was just like, innit? That's the difference, innit? Because, you know, if you do it because you have to, it's like charges and shit, and I should understand that, like, yeah, you must pay your bill. But if you do it because you just want to, and you're financially stable, then, I don't know, that's well more classy, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So I'm just like, no way. So I was half telling the story about it, and he's just like, he's not even laughing because he's just like, yeah, so I'm not like that, I've done all that. I'm like, he's a mad. So then next thing there's just all this commotion, and I mean commotion, right? You know, like when you just know something bad's happened or something bad's about to happen, or just, you know what I mean, you just come from being off your bar and flying out, lads are just like, proper like DEFCON 3, you know, so like everyone's running out, all the lads are grabbing things, and I'm like, lads, yeah. So he goes, yeah, do you want to just, like, give me two, I don't even know what's happening, So Stormzy Time's just like, lads, what's happening? I'm like, yeah, come here. So I'm going to say, I get in there and just put him in the covers, right? That sounds proper biggie, but he can't fight, and I don't even know what's going to happen, you know what I mean? You know, I'm looking at my mates, he doesn't know them, lads are just want to get in the covers, he's like, what about you? Like, shut up, kid, TV, I'm like, let's go. So I just run out, right, as we run out to this fair. There's about 5 cars and just firms just jumped out. I don't know what's going on. It's nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing to do with me. So what I'm supposed to do, yeah, so I just thought, so it's just like starting off and like, it didn't really just go off straight away like as you'd think. It was more of a standoff sort of thing, do you know what I mean? And like some of them had ballies on, but some of them didn't, and I was just thinking, no, I was like, what's happening here, what's happening? So it went like, it wasn't like where you see on a film where everyone just stormed this gaffer, you know, it went like that. It was more like just get outside and have it, do you know what I mean? So I was like, sad, so goes out, so everyone goes out to that now. We're all half cutting that these, I don't even want to say what it was over or not like that, because all stories are fictional, right? And this is a fictional story, but anyway. So it ends up half going off, and as we're sitting there, and I'm looking at one of the lads, and he's looking at me, and I'm thinking, no way, I'm on him. And then one of the lads knows one of the other lads. So it was like as if they didn't like know where they were coming to. Not that the shit house was not like that, but it was like they didn't realise like how many cross firms were being there, do you know what I mean? So I've ended up just being like, lad, what's happening? He's like, lad, what's he's from Liverpool, and the other two lads from Liverpool. And I'm like, lads, what's happening? So I only knew I knew the one with the belly on, he was like, what, looking at me first. I knew him, but we're not like, he doesn't know me no favours, nothing like that, and I don't know what's going on, but he's like more like, what are you doing here, do you know what I mean? So it was a bit mad. It just never even ended up going off. I'm not going to start dragging it out. It never ended up going off, and it's when it was going off because the three lads from Liverpool, I knew we went because of me, because they could have done what they wanted. I wouldn't have saying it, so let's not get that mistaken. I'm not trying to say, you know, but what I'm trying to say is, it was just one of them moments where you think, what's happening here? Do you know what I mean? How come, what's going on here? So I ended up talking to him, and one of the other lads, there was another lad who was on as well, but it weren't like me to him either, and then the third scouser, I didn't know who he was, but I'm a scouser, and you know, I don't know what's happening here, and my mate's being like, wow, what's happening, he shouldn't be here, blah, 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 blah. So I've ended up just talking to him, and these are all talking, something's gone on, but it wasn't like, it wasn't where it was heavy straight away going off. It was just more like, I can't turn up here to say something to him without a firm, because I know he'll be firmed up. Do you see what I mean by that? It was like more of a, like, it was more of a, not show of force, because it sounds a bit mingy, but what I mean, it was like, someone's come to speak to someone over something, and because he knew he had a firm, he's brought a firm with him, yeah? But my argument was, if someone comes to mind with ballies on, I'd just be looking at it straight away. If someone turned up to my house now with a bally on, I'd just tell him. Just what we were bally on for. Yeah, so I didn't really understand how it didn't go off, but it just didn't go off, so it just didn't go off anyway. So I'm talking to this lad, and he's talking to me, he's like, what are you doing around here? I told him, I said, it was with my mates, lads, I just done a little old and all that. He's like, yeah, I said, you all right, man, yeah? He's going, yeah, he's like, his daddy was in there, I'm like, lad, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I said, wow, what's happening here, lad? So he's telling me, and I'm like, wow, lad, that's mad. And he's going, no, he said, well, worst case, lad, there's only going to be a couple of statements, one-on-ones, so he might going to be like, these were just there because we knew that these are that firms. Lad, he said, what would you do? I'm like, yeah, obviously, lad, but I said, the ballies, though, he said, I know, lad, he said, I know, he said, just in case they just come out blasting. I was like, yeah, I said, they are known for it, like, he's like, of course they're known for it, lad, he said, you know, if they come out blasting, lad, I'm not going to blast back straight away, but it hasn't been like that. So, like, let's just get that straight now. It was nothing to do with me. I'm not trying to say because I was there, it had nothing to do with it. It's just what happens. That's just how it happens, you know what I mean? So, anyway, forgot that we made in a cupboard, didn't I? So, I've been talking to them for about half an hour, and by the time we've gone back, it's not everyone's mates, I'm not saying like everyone was all happy dancing around again, but it was just sound, yeah, it was just sound. There was a late thing that got sorted for a couple of days at a time, something like that, but they just wanted him and just him, so it was just going to be a one-on-one, so it is what it is. I mean, because let's be honest about it, if your mate starts fighting with another firm, even if you don't want to fight with them or you've sorted it, yeah, someone's just going to, and then your mate gets put out, someone's just going to jump in, and you're going to jump in, and it's just going to be a proper riot meeting, you know what I mean, the garden and all that. So this bird, she's upstairs hiding somewhere, and, you know, saucy times he's in the cupboard. Listen to this. So I thought, what's happening? As we go back in, we're all sitting there, everybody sound, all sound, I just like laughing and this, not like laughing at them, but it could have been worse, everyone knows it could have been worse, and the fact he comes to the Ken and all that, me other mate, he was like, not me real proper problem, but he was like a little bit alarmed, you know, this gaff, he was like, the fact he just come here, and I'm like, wow, I don't even want to say no, it's not my business, these are all talking, these are all the firm, I'm not in their firm, I'm just with my mates, you know, so let's just put that out there right now. So anyway, I forget that he's in the cupboard, saucy time, oh shit, so sneaks up on the cupboard, that's on he's on saucy time. No, you remember, saucy time, Steve, he's on saucy time, in the cupboard, and has been for hours. It's like the next day now, you know, it's like the next day afternoon, and you know, I'm just like, I'm just done, me, I'm finished, I'm just proper like, do you know what I mean? Or just like, you just feel like a mess because you need a bath or a shower and you need to get changed and all that. So I'm like, I'm going back to the hotel to get changed and all that. Like, he coming back, I said, yeah. So says the saucy time, like, come on, let's go. He's like, come on, let's go. Then so we get to the taxi, gets off and all that, and then he keeps the taxi, goes to his hotel and all that. I get changed, and then he gets changed, and then he picks me back up and we goes back to this party. Now, when we've gone back, it's like sort of half quieting down. Now, there's only like So like, there's like half the people that were there when we first went there, do you know what I mean? Now, so with like most of my mates, I'm like, what's that? It was boss mate, he was just like, lad, I'm like, lad, you've absolutely smashed it. He's going to know, he's like, lad, I made you all doing well. I said, I'm doing alright, lad, you know, same old, lad. So he's like, lad, how did you get over us? I'm like, lad, I can't be as always lemo chat, lad. I said, you know, I'm not going to, lad, I've got kids and all that. Bring them back, lad, no. Because then what happens then, lad, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be asked, lad, you know, you see people who come over there and they just start trying to graft and they just get bored and they don't listen and they just don't get their head smashed in. And not saying I'm some sort of shit house, but, you know, I'm not asked about it, I wouldn't be asked, just I'm happy doing my own thing, does that make sense? I'm just, why do I want to do that when I'm just doing what I'm doing? I'm happy doing what I'm doing, you know, I've got all the people around me, you know, from my mum, from my dad, I've got, you know, what they, you know, they're getting on as well, so, do you get what I mean? I've got little kids and that, and he's like, I don't know, he's like, you know, but it'd be good though. I said, lad, it would be good. I said, maybe one day, lad. I said, maybe one day, lad, but you know, you just do what you should do, and I'll do what I'm doing, lad, and we just connect. So I'm taking all the lads' numbers who I never had, who my mates who haven't spoken to for ages, and I'm just thinking in my head, yeah, this is going to be sick, this. So he says, the sort of time, come on, lad, let's go. He's like, hang on, I'm just on the phone with my bird. I'm just bouncing now, saying, see you later, everyone, see you later, lad, yeah, get it off, lad, yeah, you know, just like little pleasantries and all that. So I come to your mate who's bird, who's the prosecutor. I'm like, what's that, lad? What's that? I said, so what, lad, is she usual? He went, lad, yeah. He went, lad, she lost evidence. I said, what? I said, lad, yeah. While he's over there just chatting proper shit on short time, tell me what happened, lad. And he went, yeah, because we couldn't get to talk before because it just all ends up going off, do you know what I mean? Before I could get the story up, but here's what happened, get on this. Now, you know, I don't think these are chatting shit because, you know, it's just, I would think there's no reason to lie to me, do you know what I mean? And then, you know, it is what it is. So I said, what happened there? And he went, lad, get on this. He went, lad, I was in the crowd, yeah. I went, yeah. He went, lad, and then as we got took in, because I was on rebands, I went from rebands to go in. I said, didn't you know he was in jail? He went, no. He said, I just never said that, lad. I said, how'd you blend it then if you're on, like, iPhone, you know, you do video, how'd you blend it if you're on a pad? He went, lad, he went, what I done was just stuck a blanket by the door and all that, and just when he talked to me, it was just like this guy, you know, them itchy, snarl jail blankets. He's like, well, how's she going to get that? I said, lad, she was just told you are a proper meth. He went, lad, and that's what made it sound. She didn't know I had anything, lad. I said, what about your clothes? What about it? He went, nah, he went, just had t-shirts on and that. Then, lad, you never did. You were on social time, just from a pad, lad, just sitting there, just like eating Kellogg's with water. With a little snide blue jumper on, lad, just like all itchy blankets, all lad, just knocking me through. And he's crying, he's just like, oh, lad, you know, the script. And he's like, but she doesn't. I'm like, I know she's a prosecutor. And she's like, well, I've never been inside the pad. I said, I've never even seen one. She's like, no, why was I? She went, no, she went, you know, I'm not even like, I'm not even what you think. She went, you know, I'm proper sad. She went, I'm still a scouser and all that. I was like, ah, yeah. I said, I know. I said, you know, and he goes, lad, this is what she does. He went, yeah. He went, swear there anyway. So she said, yeah, go get us a drink and all that. So she's like, yeah, I go to that. He goes, listen, lad, she's proper up for it, lad. He went, lad, she's up for it. He went, lad, she's just lost all evidence when they caught, you know, before they got found guilty. I was like, what? He said, lad, I swear, he went before sentencing, lad. He said, my brief just come in and just looked at me. I was like, what do you mean? And he went, what had happened is, you know, before you get found guilty or not guilty, and then the jury adjourns, well, whatever happens in the meanwhile, I don't know the ins and outs of it because I was just blathered off my banner and there was like getting words coming at me from everywhere. What's happened is what had come from it. She's lost evidence before this evidence was supposed to be presented. You know, just like off the top, just like freestyled it. So when the evidence, the main evidence hasn't been prevented because it's been lost, she sort of half-stitched someone else who wasn't there, he was supposed to be there. So I don't know whether it was a witness, I don't know the ins and outs of it, you know, I'm not going to start trying to think of it, but something's happened anyway, something boss has happened for him, and it's because of her, let's just say that. She sorted it, so he didn't get nicked, so that's that. So if she's doing it for him, and that means she's a proper scouser, yeah, just working a good job for the dough, then imagine what else she's done for other people who, like, you know, obviously nap monsters and that, they just get proper slammed, or, you know, what people who kill people and all that, but, you know, I'm sure she's got a proper, like, streak of just letting people off for, like, commercial burglaries, and, you know, just things that, like, you know what I mean, that no one really asked about. So, I don't know, it is what it is. He calls me, lad, she's gay, and I said, is she? And yeah, he went, lad, I saw one, he took his number before anyway. So I'm like, lad, that's proper son. So when she comes back, she goes to me, I've got a mate who'd love you. I said, you've got a mate who'd love me? I said, who? He went, she's Spanish. I said, yeah. I said, she's Spanish. He went, well, no, she lives in Spain, but she's like kind of Scout Spanish. I'm like, what does that mean? He went, lad, she loves Scouts. She went, she was absolutely love you. I said, yeah. I said, where is she? He went, I'll text her now. So I went, yeah, go on. So she texted her. She's like, must be like, where are you? She's like, I've been working all that sort of time. So she went, she's on there, or you can have a number now. I said, nah, I said, I'll pay for the work, mate. I said, yeah, so, you know, just all bevied off your buy. So I ended up finding and a mate's found it for me. I'm talking about how we just proper hit it off, it was proper. So she's like, what's happening, lad? I'm like, what is that? She's like, where are you? I said, what your mate? And all that shit and all that. And she's like, yeah, it's sad. And you know what? I still speak to her now. I still speak to her to this day, you know. Staff and Striper, just like, get on it. It's sad, right? That's it, that's me done, right? But yeah, on the way home, nothing happened. So I'm going to say, we got home, everything was sound. And so the time now, just like still chills with me, you know. So that's the end of the story, you know what I mean? It's not, there's not really more out of that. Could have been well worse than that, don't you know what I mean? Could have been. Imagine they would have started blasting at us and I just, oh my God, or like one of us would have got hit. It'd have been proper heavy, that just in a party. And that's why I didn't really not want to go, but I just didn't really want to go because it's unpredictable. When you start messing around with all firms and people like that, you're just sitting there, you know what I mean? People are just, you don't know what's been going on, so keep your wits about it, yeah? And the moral of the story as well, right, is don't start bouncing abroad, taking your own one because you've got a little graft in Liverpool or you think you have. Do you know what I mean? So as usual, people just don't listen, and Steve hasn't listened to me right now. We've done a 3-part series about him, and you know, he's famous off it now, so he loves it and all that. So he's got Lippy again, you know, so okay, do you know what? I'm going to go to episode 4 now, right? I'm going to go to episode 4, I'm going to put it into a podcast. I'm going to tell a story, what he asked me not to say, right? So it is what it is, right? Now, listen, this lad is proper game, right? He'll pull blade out and all that, but fighting wise, he'll have a go, but you know what I mean, he's not really, you know, he's not a fighter, but he is game, so it is different. But get on this story, I know, lad, you know, I know you're going to be listening to this now, and I know your birds, and I know everyone you know, I know everyone our mates are as well, so do you want to say big shout to Saucy Time, Steve? I told you, lad, I told you not to mess with me, lads, I'm later, and I'll do what I want, yeah? So, lad, now you've got a 4-part mini-series and a podcast. You little blade. You know, false, say something else, lad, and I'll make fucking series too. Right, I'm going to tell a story, anything want me to tell you ready? So I'm standing there, right, and then we come back off the Aldi, and when we come back from the Aldi, we started like getting this little thing on, so me and Steve were like all like, you know, getting tighter, and you know, he's with this bird off Saucy Time, and you know what, this bird's left it for him, which was just like, oh my God, and he goes, yeah, lad, and you know what, all right, give you your due. You pulled it off in the end, but you still started to blag me all along, and he's like, I know, lad. Now, what we didn't know was that this bird used to go with some lad, and the lad who used to go with is some like proper hard case from Liverpool, do you know what I mean? Get on this just goes fucking mentally, you know. So he's meeting and all that, and he's going for scrams with and all that. Now, I'm not like being like, I don't know, I'm not being like a bellend like that, but birds, you need to start fucking getting on shit, you know, because you know your ex-fellas are all like crazy lunatics and all that, and you split up with them, but they don't know you split up with them, or they don't want it to end. You can't just start going around town with lads, you know, who are just like, you know, don't get me wrong, Steve's me mate, you know, he's me mate, but he is called Saucy Time Steve. Do you know what I mean? So he is me mate, and you know, he's not really a banger, but he'll have a go, but only like there's leagues and levels to it, you know what I'm saying? And he's just not round like the fucking thing. But what's happened now is he's now grafting for me. So I don't mean to sound like fucking John Gotti or something like that, where he protected, but if someone slaps your grafter, then it's on you, innit? Do you know what I mean? Get on with these little rats there, mate. And it was proper cheeky, it was our ass, but it's funny now. But get on this, right? So he goes for the scrap with this bird, right? Now, this bird, I like this bird, I've met it a few times, that she's proper sad being a party and all that. And she's got some apartments in town, right? And it's a nice place that she's had it for ages, that. But where she was staying with her dad or whatever. But no one knew why, because it didn't make sense. But now it makes sense, right? Now, what had happened, she split up with this lad, and it was a rough breakup, you know, like proper heavy and all this. And I think he cheated on her, whatever, I don't know, whatever's going on. So she stayed out of that apartment, right? And Steve's been going to a Mars now, but a Mars house is a belted house, you know what I mean? Like the girl smashed it, you know what I mean? She's a proper son girl. So he's been going there, and he hasn't been going to the apartment. So like, he started going back to this apartment and that. So what we didn't know was the lads who she used to go with, you know what I mean? And now this lad who used to go with, he's a heavy kid, and his mates are heavy as well, so I'm not saying it like that. If you listen to this now, it's your own fault. So here's what happens. He goes out to town with it, he's in this Chinese cafe. I don't think the Chinese cafe's there no more. It used to be like Shangri-La, yeah, can't even remember what it's called, I'm sure it was that, but I think it's gone now. So he was in there with and all that. And as he's come out, because it's in the middle of town, right, and where there's all like gas, you know, like the top of town where you go for beverages and all that, he's seen this kid, right, and this kid, he's seen this bird, and he's gone over to the bird, but like, it's cheeky, it's proper cheeky. He walks up to the bird, who must have been his ex-bird, and just grabs her by the ear. Like, what's happening, gorgeous? Like, while Steve's standing there. Imagine someone just done that to you, how you be feeling, yeah. So she's like, get off me, get off me, get off me. So, cause she's like that, it's like, she doesn't want a part of it, you understand? So it's not like she's like encouraging it, she's like, get away now, get away. But this kid's like, Steve's going, lad, you should have seen the fucking size of him. And his mates, so all the lads' mates have come over and just snarl at him, do you know what I mean? He's like, who are you, lads, who are you? And he's like, So he said to the bird, where the fuck have you met him? You've been with him behind my, where have you met him? And she's like, saucy time. No, I don't know that. Listen to me now. Listen to me now. At the end of the day, you knew your bird was on that. Do you know what I mean? If you get with a bird and she's doing all that, then that's just what she's doing. Now I'm not saying they're all like fucking hoes and all like that, because they're not. Do you know what I mean? That's sad. It's a job. It is what it is. That's it is what it is. Separate lives and all that. But you can't start like. What do you think? What was you? Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I said this to Steve as well. I said to him, lad, do you think you're burning it up? He's like, lad, yeah, because she's left it. And I'm like, she hasn't. So he's gone on it and he showed me. And I'm like, no way, no way. Do you know what I mean? So if she's never left it for him and she's left it for him, then, it must be love. Love. Do you know what I mean? It's so different, isn't it? So she genuinely likes him, and you can tell by the demeanour when she's with him. When she's sitting with him, that she's just sitting with him, she's got his hands on his, like, you know what I mean? It's like, you can tell. So it's I wouldn't have expected that, to be fair, because, I'm not being funny, I'm not saying I'm anyone, I'm a father at best, let's just say that, right? But this kid's like a fucking borderline, just like one. Do you know what I mean? Like moles and shit. They're like overgrown tashes, and you know what I mean? Just like, he can do a lot to help himself, do you know what I mean? But he doesn't. But it is what it is, one person's fucking rubbish is another person's treasure, and so on and so forth, yeah? So, here's what goes on, right? So, the event of Phil Steen. But he stood it, right? Because the bear told me he stood it. Now, I know he'll stand it, but, it is what it is. So, give the kid his due, right? He's been absolutely just fucking pasted them down the street and down, right? And, the bird, she can't really say nothing. She can't, look down at him because he stood his ground. And this lad, who I've seen him now, I'll tell you what happens in a minute, right? He is a big kid and he can fight, do you know what I mean? He goes to the gym and he can fight. And his mates, they're the same, do you know what I mean? Because they're like a little clique and that. Now, if you put them in I don't want to sound like a bell like that, and, I'm no one, I'm no one. But if you put them in levels where my mates are, then they're just little mushrooms, do you know what I mean? But to Steve, it's like fucking David and Goliath, you know what I mean? So he's had to go, and I said to him, did you get anyone? He went, lad, he said, the 3 about 3 things, he said, I went flying, he got boots everywhere. And he's not going to lie to me, you know what I mean? I said, yeah. He's like, yeah. I went, what happened? And he went, lad, the MTV pockets. I said, Dave robbed you? He went, yeah. I said, what do you mean? What? Now, that's a different game, do you know what I mean? I said, what do you mean? He went, well, he took 25 lemo. I was like, my lemo? He went, yeah. I'm like, Dave robbed you for my lemo? He's like, well, yeah. And I said, well, lads, but he squared the bill. So, yeah, hang on a minute. Listen, hang on a minute. I'm not going to get involved with you for going with someone's do you know what I mean? But what we will do is we'll get involved, because he's robbed that limo. So that's now my reason. Yeah, he's my grafter. Obviously, he's my mate and all that. And I don't look at him as though he's just a grafter. But at the end of the day, they were my bits. So you've wasted them and then went through his pockets. Lads, who does that? Who does that in time for something like that? You only do that if you're robbing someone, So he didn't even know he done that. He didn't even know he done limo. So he's robbed him, just wants to make a show of him. Do you know what, lad? You fucked up there, mate. So I'm like, yeah, sound. So I said to him, where are you now? He went, well, I'm going to be there. I said, where are you? There's a pound. He said, oh, yeah. I said, all right, so come round. Is that all right? He's like, yeah, sound. So I said, that's scary. Is it all right to come round? He's like, who will you be with? I said, just one of my mates, right? He went, who? So I told him, he's like, oh, yeah. He went, go on, sound, lad, sound. Now, the lad who I'm coming with, he's like, not me number 2, but he's me in a circle. Do you know what? He probably is me number 2, to be fair. If anyone's listening to this now, you said, oh, me number 2, do you know what I mean? I love you all the same, I've got no favourites. But some people are handier than mothers, do you know what I mean? Some people got, less boundaries than others, do you know what I mean? So in situations, you know what I'm saying? And in this situation, yeah, I need them, right? Oh my God, listen to this, right? So what's happened is, because the lad, who was an ex-fella, has seen her out and all that, he must have just been like, yeah, she's fit, you know, he's been casing her. Now, Why she hasn't changed the phone, I don't know. It might have been a contract or whatever, but, you know, to be fair, is she encouraging it when Steve's not there? I don't know. I'm not going to say she is, I'm not going to say that, but, you know, something must have gone on, because how's he, like, got the impression that it's sound again? Do you see what I'm saying? So something must have gone on in the meanwhile of him getting wasted to go into this apartment, right, where I was going down there. Now, am I going down there to fight? No, because I didn't know this was going to happen. So why am I going with my mate? Because it just was, because he was just floating with me, do you know what I mean? That's just what it is, how it is. So we get to this apartment and all that, and I'm just like, what's that? And you know what? This girl's phone is just blowing up, right? Blowing up. And I'm thinking, you know what? I've only been here for like 10 minutes, and it's like, and she's ignoring it, and she's like, listen, I'm going to have to answer this call, you know. And I'm thinking, that's a bit mad. So I needed the piss anyway, and I wanted to strike, right? So she's gone in this room, and I've gone in the bathroom, right? And the bathroom next to this room, so I can hear it. Not word to word, but I can hear it. And she's saying, just leave me alone, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then whatever. So I shouldn't have really done this, because he could have got her in trouble. And, you know, it is what it is. But to be fair, though, let's just get it straight now. It's all sorted now. But whether it's because of this, I think it was, right? So she's in there, and like, she's fucking going on. She's like, leave me alone, you know. She's having the door, like, what's happening, gorgeous? No, just to like, just to like throw a little fucking spanner in the works. So she just looked at me, and this kid on the phone just being like, what, is he there? Is he there? And I'm like, you stole it on me with all your mates, you little blurt, didn't you? Remember that? You little fart, Robin, all that. You know the lads who work for the limo, lad, watch what he does there. And he's going, what, oh my God, and I just burst out laughing, right, because I'm laughing. I know who I'm with. He doesn't know who I'm with. I know who I'm with. Do you see what I'm saying? So he's just like, well, watch it, I'll get round in, I'll put every fucking way to do, and you little lad, yeah. And she's like, lad, I'm not even with you. I haven't been with you for like 8 months. What are you on about? And I'm like, you are desperate, you lad, you're proper desperate. And he's just going, what happened to you? You want to get him on the phone? I'm like, lad, I'm sitting next to her. I'm sitting next to her, lad, with my arm now, the lad. What, lad? On your loudspeaker, I'm laughing at you. And he's going, what's what I do? So I've just started laughing. And this bird, she just looks at me and says, do you know what? No one knows what's going to happen now. So I've come in the living room. I've said to my mate, yeah, it's probably going off here. He's like, is it yet? Sound. So Steve's like, what do you mean, lad? And I'm like, well, I told him what happened. And he's going to me, lad. I'm like, well, lad, what? He's going, I'm like, lad, he wasted you with all his mates. He's going, but what if he comes in and wastes you? And then he makes it look to me like what to do, and we just start laughing, right? Because listen to me, just listen to what I'm saying here, right? This kid who I'm with now, right? Listen, he's one of them people where if you know him, you know him, and if you don't know him, you don't want to know him, especially in that context. You know what I mean? So he's just like, come on, lad, let's go. Like this kid's like, he's a proper fucking heavy banger. Do you know what I mean? And I mean heavy banger. Do you know what I mean? So, and you know, I'm not fucking shy myself, let's just put it that way. So we're sitting there. Next thing, because where we are in this apartment, you can see the car park, and there's like a car park, and like a few floors down. So we just see this car pull up, right? And these 4 lads get out, and they're all like, just like, you know, there's like a little fucking bounce on them, like as if they're proper on one. Do you know what I mean? Like just proper bounce, like, because the car park. So I've looked like that, straight away I've just been like, you know what? Sometimes, like, don't judge a book by its cover, I'm not saying that like that, but I just know that me and my mate will just walk right through them, do you know what I mean? Lads, you've only come with 4 years, right? My mate would do them on his own. I'm not even joking. My mate would do them on his own. Yeah, that's it. So never mind with me there, and with Steve. Steve can throw a little boot in, do you know what I mean? But what's going to happen to this bird? See, that's the problem with these lads, right? Because some of these lads, they're hard. They think they're hard, like in the house, like there's no arguing with the birds and all this and all that and all this and all that. But then when you put them in the street, they're not. They just go, yeah. But then what could happen is, if you waste them, they could take it that to heart, that they could come back and do something, you know, like just melt the gaff or something like that. But it depends what level they're on. But, you know, I'm speaking to them, and they're not even like that. They're not like that. They're only little farts. They're like, let's just say, they're like, I don't mean wait, I'm not saying, listen, I don't mean like, not on like what I'm going to say, I don't mean it in the way it can be taken as like, you know, offensive. But what I'm saying is, you can get different types of lads. You can get gangsters who are hard, and you can get normal lads who are hard. Now, the normal lads who are hard, they are bangers, but they're not compared to gangsters who are hard. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not. It doesn't matter. You know, some of them may be, you know, cage fights or something like that, but these aren't like that. These just normal kids who think they're on one. No, little bellends who think they're on one. Like them little bellends in town who say, what are you looking at? And he just fucking combo them, boom, put them out.
that's what these are like. You can just tell, little mingies, right? But he's known for being a banger, but just not by anyone who I think's a banger. Because the rest about him. Do you see what I'm saying? So people who like, they like when stories go round, people put shit on, add salt on it, yeah. But I've already asked about him when he's done stealing, because obviously he's just robbed me grafter. So I'm now, for me personally, you've robbed my grafter, yeah, lad, you've took bits off me grafter, and now you're on the phone snarling at me, telling me you're going to come down and do this and all that. You've turned up with 4 lads, yeah, to a bird's house, thinking I'm just in there on my own, yeah. You are going to have a short, sharp shock in reality, right? And that's that. But what you've got to understand is, though, next time they see him with it, he's going to get it. Right? So he comes down, they're pressing the buzzer and all that, pressing the buzzer and all that. So he says to me, yeah, comes down, says to me, don't even let them get up here. So he's like, come on, son. Walks downstairs, right? So he walks downstairs. And as I look at him like that, he just goes, you can just tell he's having second thoughts now. And he's like, I'm 17 stone juiced up. I don't know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm juiced up to fuck. So he's just thought, So I've opened the door, right, and they haven't made a move. Right, now my mate who I'm with, he's like 21 stone juiced up. You know what I mean? And he's like on the flight of stairs where you can't see him. So I'd be like, so he's come walking down, and he'd be like, what's happening, lad? And he'd just be like, and he said, what's happening, lad? I said, you robbed my grafter, didn't you, lad? And he's like, what? I said, the lad who was on the team with here, I said, you robbed him, didn't you? And he's like, I said, no, he's filled with who you for, was it? And honest to God, listen, like, I went, I'm not saying I was trying to de-escalate it, but it wasn't sounding like, you could just tell you were mingies, you know what I mean? Like I don't mean, you know what I mean? They had no chance. So my mate's just gone bang and just put him clean out. So I've just looked at him like that, right? And the other 3, I'm like, none of you have reacted. How come like none of you are reacting? And they're like trying to talk to Elsworth, and I mean, he's gone bang and put another one out. So I just, he goes to me, lad, 2 out of 4, lad, I'll just waste these 2 for a laugh. And I'm like, listen to you, lad. I said, go through his pockets, go through that little Mickey's pockets there and see what he's got on him. And he's going to me, lad, I'll take him to the bank. How much do you owe you? I said, lad, he owes me for 25 bits. He's like, yeah, what's late 20s? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right, sound. So he picks this kid up, this kid's like, and he's like, lad, just picks him up, listen to me, manhandles him, takes him to the car, sits him in the car. This is how weird, how like awkward and just like, imagine being me. So he's got him in the car and they drove off. I don't know what they're doing or where they're going or why they're going anywhere. So these are the 3 lads, one who's picking his fucking face up off the floor. So the other 2 lads who like, they never really got involved in aggression, they never showed no aggression. I've ended up talking to them. Like this proper sad, you know what I mean? And I'm like, lad, what happened there? And he's going, oh, lad, listen, it's his bird, he's lost his head over and all that, lad. I'm like, yeah. I said, what do you mean? He's going, lad, he used to like crawl saucy time in parties. And I'm like, lad, that's what my mate did. You know, like, the one who Steve, I don't want to use fucking waste. He went to me, lad, I never touched him, and he never touched him. He went, it was only him and him. And I went, yeah, I said, I thought there was 6. He's like, lad, there weren't 6. He went, there was only 4 of us. He said, and me and him, like, these 2, like, they know what, I'm not even, they were sound. The 2, like, not an answer, they were proper sound. And we're talking to him, I'm laughing and all that. Next thing, my mate comes back in this kid's car and just passes me the dough for 25 bits. And I'm like, what, he went, suck him the bank, lad? I'm like, lad, you can't even get that much out the bank in one go. He's going, lad, he's got loads of bank cards. Sad. So I'm like, yeah, listen, lad, here's what's going to happen now. I said, she's with my mate, yeah, and, you know, and if you want to start all that, then we'll start all that, but it's not really suggested, you know what I mean? So the 2 lads you know names to, they were sound, they were like, yeah, lad, he's a fucking up. And I said, what were you coming here for? He went, lad, because he's asked us to, you know. Well, we ain't even going to do nothing anyway, lads. He was just coming like, because he's asked us, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, and the kid, who, the first one, like, you know, the hard case, he never even got back out the car, he just stayed in the car. So then, the mate who got dropped, the other one, he just walked over to the car, he never said a word, he was the proper fire. And as he's walking, listen to me, right, have you ever like, listen, it's like proper embarrassing. Me mate just ran and towed him right up the arse, like he should have hit the news of it. The lad just lifted off the floor and just started running. And the other 2, me mate, I'm like, nah, leave them there, sound lad. He's going, what? He's going, lad, shall I just put the boat out? I'm like, nah, the sound lad. So they just bailed on, like, they just didn't want to do it. It was awkward for them, you know what I mean? So as we walk up the stairs like that, Steve and his bird are just like, shock, just like proper mortified. They've just like seen Harvey, because where they were standing, like looking out the window, they couldn't see it all, but they could see bits of it, you know what I mean? And then they've seen him get in the car with him, and she's like, what happened there? I said, he's gonna got the dough for that. So he was like, what? So, cause Steve paid me for the bits and I didn't know, I've given him the dough, because it's his dough, do you know what I mean? And he's like, what? But I never give him all the dough straight 20s. I give him the dough 3 for 50. So I kept a bit anyway. Just sound lad, that's my cut. And he's just like, oh, lad, you're fucked, you know. And my mate's going, lad, who I'm like, lad, and my mate's looking at like proper folding up and just proper putting them night or something, you know. Not like one of them over the top kids, you just overreact. And then that was it. So about 2-3 weeks had gone past, and this bird, she hasn't seen sight or sound and none of them and all that. And Steve was out with it again. He went to town with it on a night out, and he ends up in the G bar, right? And as he's in the G bar, he sees the lad, you know, the lad who's an ex-fellow, and he's with the doorman. He's with the doorman. So Steve goes in the bog, straight away because he hasn't seen him, and texts me. Says, lad, do you know anyone on the door there? I'm like, yeah. He says, oh, lad, I'm going to get the head smashed in. I said, no. I said, lad, behave like that. I said, lad, behave. I said, do me a favour. He went, what? I said, send me a selfie. He's like, what? I said, lad, just send me a selfie. He's like, lad, what are you on about? I'm like, lad, why do you know it? You're weird, just do it. Yeah, because otherwise how are you going to know it's you? And he's like, all right, sounds. So I've gone on this doggery from Liverpool, right, on the Pride one, and I've spoken like, who's on there. So they come back and I've been like, yeah, lad, see him there, sends him the picture. I said, he's with some bird, and then there's this lad, blah, 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 and they're like, lad, I'm on it, we'll sort it. So what's happened is, it's like, in that bar, it's like a gay bar, so they don't really like it going off and all like that, you know what I mean? So if it goes off in there, then you're just getting wasted, you know what I mean? Because you shouldn't be in there anyway. Like, do you know what I mean? And this lad who was with her, he started kicking off and that, all this bevy and all that, and he just ended up just getting fucking wasted. Dorman of wasting, do you know what I mean? And Wanda Dorman was his mate. But there was mate who was on the door. He was on like his number, he was like number 9 on the door. I was like one of them little snide fucking, like, when the door lads are down and like someone stayed off, they just phone them, do you know what I mean? And he turns out like, oh, fucking Tackleberry off Police Academy. Like, so, you know what I want about, don't you? So that's just like, that's what happened there. And then, you know, it was just, it is what it is. So she's sound, he's sound, everyone's sound, and then that's it. And you know what? This fucking saucy time, mate, this has caused murder. Now, when I done saucy time, right, it's like an app on a phone, you know, like, it's just a video call on FaceTime with bears and all that. Now, because I've mentioned the name of it, right, get on this, right, I got an email, right, off the owner. Chris is the owner, right, he's proper sound. And we ended up just being mates and all that, it's mad, he just ended up being mates and all that. So being for scrans and all that with him and that, he's proper sound, he's like, lad, I said, that was me mate, he used to use that fucking thing and all that. And I don't know however he's heard it, he must have like, you know what I mean, if like you type in, it must come up or something like that. So imagine what he's thinking, why is he just like dangling stories to do with my company? So I was like, yeah, lad, I said, if you want me to take it down, I'll take it down. He's like, nah, you're mad, aren't you, lad? He's like, you're mad, aren't you, lad? It's sick. I'm like, all right, sad. So you know what, me and Chris are tight now, we're proper mates. And he lives in Thailand and that, you know what I mean? So that was a mad one, that was really a proper mad one, that. So imagine like you had your own business and you just like Google something or whatever, or you've been on YouTube and you've had like some sort of fucking, you type your whatever injury and like your company comes up and you're like, hang on a minute, what the fuck's this? But it is what it is. He sounds, I'm sound, they're all sound. So big shout to Chris, yeah, it's saucy time. And what he said to me, if anyone on your channel wants any like fucking free credits, let me know. So, you know, if there's anyone sitting there off the bar, just get on me and I'll get you some free credits on Saucy Time. And you too could be like Steve. Right, this is me proper out now, yeah? No one on Chris listen to this and be like, oh, lad, you're animal, but listen to me, lad. You've got 4-part series on your lad, just not to do it. I didn't even know him. I know what are you on about? I didn't know. So, you know what I mean? That's what's going on there. So he's probably like, oh, like, you know what? So I'm sure because he's the owner, he can just give everyone free credits. So let's see. If you're lonely and it's Christmas, tell Scouser and have a saucy time. See you later. Don't let your birds hear this, though, you know, they'll be fucking birds. Right, Scouser.